Who gives Lindsay to be married to Taylor? Thank you, sir. Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. You guys almost kissed. Friends and family of Lindsay and Taylor, welcome. Welcome and thank you so very much for being here on this very warm and beautiful day in Southern California. We are gathered here on this very important day from near and far to celebrate the very special love between Lindsay and Taylor by joining them together today in marriage. And at this time, I would like everyone to please take a moment to reflect on things important and beautiful to you. A moment to let all of your distractions fall away as we focus here today on this amazing couple standing here before us, and let us wish for their everlasting happiness. And to observe a moment of silent reflection in your own tradition, recognizing and honoring those who are past, since we believe they are here today among us in spirit. So please join me now as we reflect and remember. Thank you. Now, Taylor and Lindsay would like to take these roses and give them to their mothers as symbols of their eternal gratitude. As Lindsay and Taylor give a flower to each mother, they want to thank you for your unconditional love, your unyielding strength in times of hardship, for the selfless sacrifices you've made for your children, for always supporting them and providing wisdom and counsel as they have laid the foundation that have made them the beautiful people they are today. Lindsay and Taylor, we are here to celebrate love. Love in all of its aspects and dimensions. Love of one another, love of family and friends, but most particularly the love between two people, which creates the desire to live together in marriage. All of us need and desire to love and to be loved. And the highest form of love between two people is in a mutual commitment of a lifelong relationship. It is said that being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. So Lindsay and Taylor, as you well know, your happiness in your relationship doesn't just happen. It is created each and every day. The little things that you do for each other truly are the big things. And these little things that you do not because you have to, but because you want to. Try to remember to listen. Naturally give respect to one another, especially if you're disagreeing. That probably never happens. But if it does, just bear with one another's weaknesses. We are all human and we all make mistakes. Always determine the original intent of any action before possibly judging or blaming. Comfort each other in times of trouble or sorrow, and work together to provide the material needs for one another. Marriage is an act of faith. It takes great love and unbroken trust to promise to go through life with just one other person, forsaking all others. Taylor, as you look into Lindsay's gorgeous eyes and her gorgeous heart, is it your intent to devote all of yourself to Lindsay and to Lindsay only in marriage?
It is.
And Lindsay, as you look up into Taylor's eyes and into his heart, is it your intent to devote all of yourself to Taylor and to Taylor only in marriage?
It is.
Your marriage today is the public and the legal union of your two souls. You've already found one another, you already love one another, and you are already joined together and united as one in your hearts. And now marriage is going to give you a whole new way to share your lives together, to stand together, to face life and the world hand in hand. And marriage can have some challenges, so you will need your strength and your courage and your patience and your forgiveness and your generosity and your compassion and your lovingness, your kindness, sweetness. Did I say patience? And a really good sense of humor will help. But when you love someone, you will be loyal to them. You will always believe in them, always see the best in them, and always stand your ground to defend them. So the definition of love that you have chosen today is titled, The Art of a Good Marriage. In a good marriage, you are never too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is never taking the other for granted. The courtship should last a lifetime. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is forming a new circle of love that gathers in the whole family. It is doing things for each other joyfully. It is speaking words of appreciation and being thoughtful. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other room to grow and to change. It is a common search for the good. It is establishing a relationship in which independence is equal, dependence is in the realms of trust, and obligation is reciprocal. And this is the art of a good marriage. So today, Lindsay and Taylor, your marriage begins with the vows and the promise that you speak to one another today. The marriage vow is the promise of fidelity and honesty. Are you ready? So Taylor, again, as you hold hands together and you look again into each other's eyes. Taylor, do you love Lindsay of your free will, and do you love her just the way she is?
I do.
Will you give your deepest consideration to her feelings, desires, and needs, be her confidant, her sweetheart, her best friend for all of your days to come?
I will.
And do you promise to do all in your power to keep your love deep and strong as it is today?
I do.
And please continue to look into her eyes and Lindsay's heart and repeat after me.
I, Taylor, take you, Lindsay, to be my wife, to share all that I am and all that I have, for better, for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, for all of our days to come.
Perfect. And now, Lindsay, do you love Taylor of your free will, and do you love him just the way he is?
I do.
Will you give your deepest consideration to his feelings, desires, and needs? Will you be his confidant, his sweetheart, his best friend for all of your days to come?
I will.
And do you promise to do all in your power to keep your love deep and strong as it is today?
I do.
And please repeat after me.
I, Lindsay, take you, Taylor, to be my husband. To share all that I am and all that I have, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, for all of our days to come.
And now that you have so beautifully completed your vows, do you have your personal statements? Would you like to share your personal statements with one another? Taylor, would you please go first? I can hold this for you. You can hold it. It's up to you. No problem.
Lindsay Lauren Stringer, from the moment I sat across from you at Stingray, I knew I loved you. At the end of our first vacation to Mexico, I knew I wanted to marry you. When the time came where I proposed to you, I knew I couldn't live without you. Each day that has passed since then, my love and passion for you has grown and burned more deeply. You are my best friend, my soulmate, and I'm honored to call you my wife. I pledge my allegiance to you to be a faithful and loving husband for as long as I am on this earth and until we are joined again for all of eternity. When I look into your eyes, I do not just see the present, but instead I see a lifelong journey of happiness and love that will carry on into the distant future. You are my today, my tomorrow, and my forever, and I love you with all of my heart and soul.
Lindsay needs a moment. beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Alright, I guess I'll hold it. Okay. Taylor, from the very first time I saw you, I knew there was something different and special about you. I didn't know exactly what at the time, but I know now. You are so kind, so loving, and so thoughtful. You have the biggest heart, and you are such a great man. 1 minute. Bear with me. You make me feel so special every day, and for that I am forever thankful. I love you not only for who you are, but for who I am when I'm with you. You are the man of my dreams and my very best friend. I vow to always be true, faithful, and honest with you. I vow to always be on your team and be by your side through the good times and the bad times. I vow to never take you for granted, even when you're at your messiest, and cherish our life together. I vow to never forget that what we share is a once-in-a-lifetime love. I love you, Taylor Bennett Grove.
It's beautiful. Thank you. All right, hold hands, you two. May you never forget the beginnings of your love. Continue to nurture it and allow it to grow and deepen as the years go by. May you never take one another for granted and always consider the other's happiness in every decision that you make. And may you keep this promise you have made to one another today and throughout the thick and thin of life's experiences. And may you always be in love. And now that you've so beautifully completed your vows, do you have your rings to exchange? The wedding ring is the symbol of married love, and the precious metals symbolize your love as your most precious possession, and the unending circle symbolizes your love will never cease. Please take Lindsay's ring and place it on her finger and hold her hand and repeat after me.
Lindsay, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment. Please wear it as a sign to the world that you are my wife. With this ring, I marry you.
Please take Taylor's ring, place it on his finger and hold his hand and repeat after me.
Taylor, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and commitment. Please wear it as a sign to the world that you are my husband. With this ring, I thee wed.
Beautiful. And now, Lindsay and Taylor, will you join me here at the sand ceremony table? Please face everybody with your backs to the ocean. Remove the cork from the empty bottle and go ahead and start pouring the two bottles together, and I'll tell everybody what it represents. So go ahead and start pouring, and you can make a mess. You can go ahead and make a mess as you start pouring the sands, because it's all sand, and we're on the sand. You can't make a mess. So today, Lindsay and Taylor are joining their lives together, and the separate bottles of sand symbolize their separate lives and their separate sets of friends and families. They represent all they are as individuals, and all represents their lives before today. As the individual grains of sand are poured into the one container, the individual grains of sand will no longer exist, but will be joined together as one. And just as these grains of sand can never be separated, so will their marriage be. So place this somewhere visible in your home so that every time you look at it, you'll remember what was said here today, what was felt here today, and everybody that's present here today. Thank you. Beautiful job. All right, go back to where we're standing. And hold hands. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we bless this union. Dearest God, I ask that you bless the union and sanctify the union of these two precious souls, Lindsay and Taylor, as they live in your love, awake and asleep, working and playing. As they seek wisdom for their lives, let them find all of the secret joys you have just especially for them. Amen. And may you love deeply, laugh out loud every day, realize all of your hopes and all of your dreams, see many sunrises and many sunsets, and in the presence of your very supportive and loving family and friends, and by the power vested in me by the state of California, I now declare you to be husband and wife. Please show your first kiss as husband and wife. All right, flowers back. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you all for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Taylor and Lindsay Grove.